Imagine a book written over 1400 years ago that contains facts about the universe, human biology, and physics long before modern science discovered them. Now, what if I told you this book has remained unchanged since its revelation? The Quran, the holy book of Islam, is filled with astonishing insights that science is only now beginning to understand. But here's the real question. How could a man in the 7th century, with no access to telescopes, microscopes, or laboratories, have known these details? Was it mere coincidence, or is there something divine at play? Stick with me till the end, and you'll witness revelations that will challenge everything you thought you knew about science and religion. The challenge of predicting scientific facts before their discovery has been a major point of contention among skeptics and believers alike. Some argue that religious texts are outdated and contradict scientific advancements. However, Islam stands apart, not only preserving its original scripture, but also aligning with modern scientific discoveries in ways that seem beyond human comprehension. One of the most striking examples is the Quran's description of human embryology. In the 7th century, Aristotle and Galen had theories about human development, but they lacked accuracy. The Quran describes the creation of a human being in stages, from a drop of fluid to a clinging clot, then to a lump of flesh, before bones are formed and clothed with flesh. This description aligns remarkably well with modern embryology, which was only confirmed centuries later with the invention of the microscope. Dr. Keith Moore, a renowned embryologist, even stated that this knowledge could not have been based on the scientific knowledge available at that time. And that's just the beginning. What about the expansion of the universe? Until the early 20th century, scientists believed the universe was static. However, the Quran states that the heavens are expanding, a fact confirmed by Edwin Hubble's discovery in 1929. How could such knowledge exist in the 7th century when telescopes didn't even exist? The Quran also describes mountains as pegs that stabilize the earth. Modern geology has shown that mountains do have deep roots and play a role in stabilizing tectonic activity. This contradicts the notion that religious texts are purely metaphorical and lack scientific substance. But this is no metaphor. These are scientific realities detailed in the Quran over 1,000 years ago. And here's something even more mind-blowing. The Quran speaks of a barrier between salt and fresh water. It states that where two seas meet, they do not mix but have a barrier between them. This phenomenon, known as estuarine circulation, has only been understood through oceanographic studies in recent centuries. For a man in the desert with no access to the seas, this knowledge seems impossible without divine revelation.
Let's talk about the sun and the moon. Many ancient civilizations believed the sun revolved around the earth. However, the Quran accurately describes the sun and the moon as moving in their own orbits, a fact confirmed by modern astronomy. And here's a fact that will leave you stunned. The Quran speaks about pain receptors in the skin. It states that when skin burns, the sensation of pain is lost only when the nerves are completely destroyed. Science later discovered that pain receptors are located in the skin, not deep within the body. This knowledge was unknown in ancient medicine and raises the question, how could the Quran contain such precise details? If that's not enough to make you rethink everything, consider this. The Quran states that iron was sent down to Earth. Modern astrophysics has confirmed that iron is not native to Earth but was formed in supernova explosions before falling to Earth through meteorites. This aligns exactly with the Quran's claim that iron was sent down. The Quran also discusses bees and honey, stating that honey contains healing properties. Today, medical research confirms that honey has antibacterial, antifungal, and healing properties. Was this just a lucky guess, or was it knowledge beyond human capability? And here's where things get eerie. The Quran describes the deep ocean as having layers of darkness and waves within the sea. Scientists have now discovered that deep oceans do in fact have internal waves separate from surface waves, and that light does not penetrate these depths. How could this knowledge have been available to an illiterate man in the desert? Beyond physical sciences, the Quran also makes predictions about historical events that came true. One such example is the fall of the Persian Empire at the hands of the Romans. At a time when the Persians had inflicted a crushing defeat on the Romans, the Quran prophesied that the Romans would soon be victorious. A few years later, this came to pass, aligning exactly with the Quran's prediction. How could an unlettered man make such an accurate geopolitical forecast? And here's something that defies logic. The Quran speaks about the preservation of Pharaoh's body. When the body of Pharaoh Ramses II was discovered in the 19th century, it was confirmed that he had drowned but was preserved. This aligns with the Quran's statement that Pharaoh's body would be preserved as a sign for future generations. The Bible mentions his drowning, but only the Quran specifies that his body would remain intact. Another incredible insight is the Quran's description of the creation of the universe. It describes the heavens and the earth as once being joined together before being separated, a concept strikingly similar to the modern Big Bang theory. Could this knowledge have been accessible in the 7th century, or does it indicate divine revelation? Even in biological sciences, the Quran presents knowledge that aligns with modern discoveries. It describes how all living beings are created from water. Today, biologists confirm that water is essential for all life forms, and the cytoplasm of living cells is mostly composed of water. How did the Quran emphasize this fact long before microscopes and cell biology were developed? And it doesn't stop there. The Quran's insights extend beyond physical sciences to social and psychological sciences. It emphasizes principles of justice, kindness, and mental well-being. Studies in modern psychology confirm that gratitude, patience, and prayer, key elements of Islamic teachings, contribute to emotional and psychological health. The Quran prescribes practices that align with cognitive behavioral therapy, such as focusing on positive thoughts, seeking support from others, and engaging in meditation like prayer. After reviewing these examples, we must ask ourselves, could these statements be mere coincidences? Or does the Quran hold knowledge that transcends human limitations? If it were just another religious text, why do its scientific insights continue to be validated by modern research, while others have been proven incorrect? The Quran is not just a book of faith, but a book of signs that point to a creator beyond human comprehension. In an era where science and faith are often seen as opposing forces, Islam provides a bridge, showing that true knowledge only affirms the existence of a higher power. So now, I leave you with one final question. If a book revealed over 1,000 years ago continues to align with modern discoveries, should we not reconsider its divine origin? The answer might just change your life. And if this content has intrigued you, subscribe to my channel so we can continue exploring the fascinating connections between science and faith together. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now.